Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for being here today. Today's video is going to be a fragrance review, and I am going to be going over a few other candle updates, I guess, if you want to call it. So if this is your first time coming here, please consider subscribing. I do try to upload these videos at least once a month. It's about once a month, and sometimes more if something's going on. But if you're also into tarot readings, I do read tarot cards as well on missing persons cases or unsolved cases. Those videos are uploaded weekly, every Sunday or every Monday. So again, thank you for stopping by, and if interested, please consider subscribing. I really do appreciate it. So, oh my god, I got so much shit to cover. You're gonna see a different side of me today because I'm so utterly irritated with what's going on right now. Some of you already know because I did kind of do a pre-review a couple of days ago on some recent fragrances that I purchased from a new company, and I'm going to get to that soon. But I do want to go over a couple of other updates, and for those of you who do not know and you haven't seen any of my previous videos, I do want to let you know that I do use the C3 soy wax from Flaming Candle for my candles, as well as 10% fragrance oil in my candles. I do use a Vibar 260 additive so that I can go up to the 10%, and that seems to work well for me. And for my wax melts, I use Pro Blend 650, also from Flaming Candle. And for my wax melts, I use 16% fragrance oil, and that seems to do really well for me. Hot Throw is amazing at 16%. I could probably lower it, but I really want people to get, you know, some bang for their buck, and so 1 cube is usually good for a room. So that's what I use as far as my products. And someone also, I wanted to go over this quickly because somebody mentioned, and it was probably even more than maybe about a month ago, somebody had actually questioned me in the comment section and asked me what my candles look like once they've been burned for a period of time. And so I am going to put up on the screen right now. This is a candle that I have had out for a couple of weeks now. I don't light it every day. It's probably been lit probably, I don't know, maybe 10 to 12 hours max through a period of several days, if not a week or two. And that is what the candle looked like today. So I did go ahead. Usually, sometimes my candles, after being lit and re-solidifying, they look better than that. Some of them look worse than that. So you can see with the picture that's on the screen, there is some there's some soot that has dried in the wax, and I've got to trim that wick before I relight it. Actually, I already did do that. I trimmed my wick and I relit it, and now it's just fine. But you know, I think she was just kind of curious just to see what they looked like after they've been burned, and that's what my candles look like, or at least that's what that one looks like. So candles sometimes aren't the prettiest when they've been burned and you know, blown out, and then they sit there for a while. But I just wanted to put that on there. And then also I wanted to go over quickly something that I am looking forward to trying. I wanted to kind of jump on the mica powder train and see what the mica powder was all about. And I have been kind of concerned about trying the mica powder because I don't know if mica powder, I don't want anything to affect the hot throw of a wax melt. I plan on using these with wax melts, not candles. And I've seen people do it on YouTube. I've seen people do it on, you know, TikTok, and I just absolutely love the way it looks. It gives the wax melt such a nice shimmery color. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, you can still dye your wax melts whatever color you planned on dyeing them, and then I think, if I'm not mistaken, a very little bit goes a long way with this mica powder. And so you know, you can dye it, you can not dye it, whatever you choose to do, and then add a little bit of this, and it just kind of gives it that nice shimmery look to it. And so I really have been wanting to try this, but I didn't want to go cheap. I didn't want to get the mica powder that's on Amazon where you can get like 100 different colors. And so I went to the Wick Candle Company. They're really good about having products like this on their website. And they only have 3 colors. They had the gold, they have this pearl, and then they also had a copper. And so I'm not a big fan of gold. I'm a silver girl. I don't like gold, and so I did buy the gold though, and I bought the pearl, but I didn't get the copper. I figured the copper was kind of close to the gold, so I just bought these two, and I'm really looking forward to this one here. This is the one I think is going to look the prettiest, at least in my opinion, because I don't like gold, but I don't know if I'm going to. I think I'm going to dye. I'm going to do a couple of batches. I'm going to dye my wax melts just a color, whatever color, and I'm going to add a little bit of this, and I'm going to see what it does to that wax melt, and then I'm going to do another batch where I'm not dyeing my wax melts, and I'm going to add a little bit of this and see what it looks like. And I have also seen people, when they make their wax melt molds, if they're using the little silicone molds, they will often sometimes sprinkle a little bit of the dust into the mold before pouring the wax into the mold, and then when you pop out that mold, it has that nice little shimmery shine to it. So I do plan on doing that as well. So I've got some testing to do. So hopefully when I get another video up next month, I'll have some of these done and I can share them with you guys and show you how they turned out. Also, another reason why I've been so hesitant to go ahead and try these is because I have read a few reviews from people who say that the mica powder doesn't work too well in a wax warmer or a melter. Something about the powder kind of just doesn't melt the way it should. And so that was another reason why I did want to get a high quality mica powder. So I wanted to get it from a reputable candle company so that I could start out with the highest quality and see how it works, and then test it and melt it and see what it does in the wax melter, and then go from there. So I wanted to update everybody on that. And also I do want to update you on the new scents that I have coming in, which I'll probably do a review on next month. But I have, well, let me look it up because I already forgot. These are primarily for my tarot candles. Okay, so last month I did talk about the dragon's blood that I purchased from Candle Science. That was great. That was a wonderful fragrance. I really liked it. As a matter of fact, I went back on Candle Science yesterday and I ordered another 16-ounce bottle because I sold out all of the dragon's blood candles. That had a really nice smell to it. A really it wasn't overpowering or overwhelming. It was kind of a light, really nice light scent, but strong enough to have a decent throw, but not overpowering. Some of the reviews that I read on there where people were complaining that it was so strong that it was giving them headaches when they were making it. I didn't get that sensation at all. It wasn't that strong. If anything is strong like that, it would probably be the lemon verbena or possibly the Fruit Loops. Those are really two strong scents that I could see that possibly being overpowering when making it, but I didn't get that impression from the dragon's blood at all. So I ordered another bottle of dragon's blood. I ordered a bottle of the Nag Champa, a 16-ounce bottle of that, which I believe is kind of more like an incense, which is very similar to dragon's blood. So I'm kind of curious to compare the two. I hope I didn't purchase something that's exactly the same. The notes are different, and so that's what I was going by. So I hope that turns out okay. And then I have Sea Salt and Orchid, which is going to be another tarot candle, possibly some wax melts, maybe a couple of regular candles, depending on how it smells. I have another bottle of patchouli coming from Fillmore. And then I also ordered some more white sage and lavender, and I'm going to re-up my stock on the white sage and lavender tarot candles. However, I went back to the company that I prefer the white sage and lavender from, and that is California Candle Supply. They have, to me, the best white sage and lavender I have ever smelled. I can't say that I don't like Candle Science's white sage and lavender, but it has more of a eucalyptus type smell. It's more of a I pick up that more in that fragrance than I do anything else. I don't really pick up hardly any of sage. It's more of a eucalyptus. It's almost like a lavender and eucalyptus to me. However, California Candle Supply's white sage and lavender is completely different. It's like a complete 180. It's just there's none of that eucalyptus minty spearmint type scent to it at all. It's just pure sage and lavender, and it's one of my favorite scents that you know, that I have ever tried. It's like right up there with my top probably 5. And so from here on out, I don't know how many of the white sage and lavender tarot candles that I have in stock right now. It's not many, it's just a couple. So from here on out, whenever I up those and add more to the shop, it will be the different white sage and lavender from California Candle Supply. So those are what I have coming. Now, before I start, before I get into this new company, I do want to go over a fragrance that I tried, and this is the second time I've tried this one, and it's really, really good. I want to recommend it. That is the, can you see it here? Let me see. The Inner Peace from Lone Star. This is a phenomenal fragrance. I'm going to give you the notes because it is just too much to describe, but whatever the notes are, that is what it smells like. And it is cherry and almond, which I pick up, orange flower, jasmine, strawberry, cotton candy, vanilla, and raspberry. And I swear to God, you pick up every single one of those notes. Most of the time, I feel like when you get these fragrance oils, there's 1 or 2 of those notes that you kind of pick up the most. This is probably one of the very few scents that I've been able to smell each and everything that they have listed in that list. And it is amazing. But I would say first and foremost, what I pick up is cherry. And second, what I pick up is cotton candy. And so it's a very, very sweet scent. So if you really, really like your sweets, this is definitely a good one for you. I actually named it Sweet Cherry Cotton Candy because that just is what it reminds me of. But it's a very good scent. It has a very good hot throw. In fact, that's what I have going on in the room right now, and I can smell it, and it's really, really good. It's very strong. If you were to buy something like this, or buy this one particular from my shop, I would definitely recommend starting out with 1 cube because it is very, very strong. Start out with 1 cube and adjust accordingly. But this is a really, really nice scent, and I really love it. So on a scale of 1 to 5, they're getting a 10 on this one. Yeah, this is a nice one. Really, really nice one. In fact, this is the second time I've ordered this and the second time I've had it in the shop. I'm not a very creative person when it comes to naming my products, and so 9 times out of 10, I'm going to just use the scent that is on the fragrance oil bottle. However, with this particular one, the first time I made it and put it in the shop, it did not sell very well until I started sending out samples. So, it was on the shelf for a while. I still had a little bit of the fragrance oil. No one was buying it, even though it smelled wonderful. So I made a few samples of what I had left on the shelf in the bottle, and I started giving out those as samples, and then the orders started coming because people were trying it and they were liking it. And then I had a few customers that actually were requesting it when I was out of stock. I finally sold everything was out of stock. And I haven't bought it simply because it took so long to sell them the first time. I have been kind of on the fence, like, do I really want to try it again? But I decided to go ahead and try it again, but this time I decided to label it differently and label it something that it reminded me more of, which I ended up going with the Sweet Cherry Cotton Candy because that is exactly what I smell when I smell this. And so that's in the shop now. Highly recommend that one. Really, really good one. I have not had a problem with any of Lone Star's fragrance oils at all. Highly recommend them. Their shipping is phenomenal. I buy my large salsa jars from them, and the most I've bought at one time was 6 dozen of these, and never once, knock on wood, never once have I had any kind of broken jars, broken glasses. Their products are always packed superbly, never a problem. Even probably a little bit speedier than Candle Science. I think if anybody is familiar with Flaming Candle, their shipping is kind of slow, but Lone Star is good. Their shipping is phenomenal, and their packing is superb. Highly recommend them. I love them. All right, so now the bulk, okay, the meat and potatoes of this video today is going to be about, let me go to their website here. just sent. Just sent. All right, so I'm always down to try new fragrances. I have been a loyal shopper of Lone Star, Flaming Candle, Candle Science, California Candle Supply. There's been a couple of other ones that I've used. Fillmore has been one of them. A couple other ones that are less popular that I've tried. Some are okay, some are not okay. But I heard about this. I can't remember where I heard about this company, but I was just kind of Googling different companies, and I went to the website. I like the way the website is set up, and they had a ton of different fragrances that I've never seen at the other companies that I just listed. One of the fragrances that I really got excited about was this honey and lavender. I've never seen a honey and lavender at Candle Science. I've never seen a honey and lavender at Flaming Candle. This was the first time I've seen a honey and lavender, and I was really super excited to try this one. I had high hopes for this one. And I will say this, most of these fragrances have a pretty decent throw out of the bottle. The cold throw out of the bottle isn't half bad. Now, it's nowhere near a different company though. Let me just compare real quick. This is a lot stronger. This has a wow in your face kind of, I mean, you can smell this one. This one you can smell too, but it's nowhere near the strength of this one here. So there is a difference. And I did a kind of a small pre-review video the other day, and one of the things that I mentioned is that their bottles were clear, which I thought was odd. I don't think I have any bottle on my shelf. Well, I do have one from California Candle Supply. It's a coffee one that I didn't care for, and that's in a clear bottle, which is odd. But that's the only one that I've ever gotten that has a clear bottle. So usually they come in bottles like this, or Flaming Candle has the white bottles, but you can't see the, you know, you want to keep, they always recommend to keep that fragrance oil in a cool, dark area that kind of keeps it a little bit longer. So I did think it was a little bit strange that it came in a clear bottle. Like I said in my video the first time last week, that should have been red flag number 1. But let me just go through these really quick so you know which ones I have. So I have the honey and lavender. I have wood sage and sea salt. And then I have Namaste, which is a patchouli, crisp pear, pink grapefruit, juicy raspberry, rosebuds, vanilla orchid, tonka bean, and creamy musk. I don't really, again, this is another one where it's okay if it just transferred to the product. If it smelled like this in an actual wax melt, that would be great. Out of the bottle, it's not bad. It's actually not bad out of the bottle. I kind of like it, but it has no hot throw whatsoever. And then we have the white tea and sage. That's another one that I was kind of wanting to try because I love anything with white tea. I noticed that that has a really nice smell to it. This too has a decent smell out of the bottle. And then we have the wild peach poppies, which I was kind of interested to see what this one was going to be like. Yeah, not bad. And lavender and chamomile. This is another one that I was really anxious to try. I was like, oh my god, I'm going to have so many different lavenders for people to choose from. This one I don't care for. I'm not fond of that one out of the bottle. Okay, so I get these fragrances. This was my budget for the month. Okay, this was my fragrance oil budget for the month. And I took a chance and I got a little bit carried away because of the fact that they had such a huge supply of fragrances that I have never seen before. And I never get anything lower than 16 ounces because I split it between wax melts and 16-ounce candles. So I pretty much will go through a 16-ounce bottle of fragrance oil fairly quickly. It would almost be, if I were to get anything smaller than that, I'd have to choose between candles or wax melts, so I wouldn't have enough to go around. So I never really get anything smaller than that size. And so I kind of went a little crazy, and I bought 6 of these fragrance oils, as you just seen, and the total came to $154. So that was my budget for the month for my fragrance oils. I typically will, at the end of the month, whatever I make from Etsy goes right back into the business, and I will have to sometimes up my wax, wicks, labels, ink for the printer for the labels, clamshells, 1-ounce containers for my samples, you name it, whatever I need for the business at that time, that is when I replenish it. And that includes wax melts, or not wax melts, but fragrance oils. So I got happy and I started adding these to the cart, and I thought, okay, I've got 6, let me stop there. So glad I stopped at 6, okay, because I could have probably bought like 2 more, but had really high hopes for these. Some of these were going to be for the tarot candle, and that was going to be the Namaste. Where is that at? The Namaste was going to be a tarot candle, and I was kind of thinking about the wood sage and sea salt being a tarot candle. Okay, so that's out. I can't use these. I can't use any of them. So again, I had high hopes. I went ahead and I made wax melts, and I tried each and every one, which is a pain, but I wanted to make sure that I gave them each a fair opportunity before I came on here and made a video. I do actually have 10 wax melters. Yes, you heard me correctly. I have 10 wax melters in the house. I have one in every room. Some rooms have 2. And so I made sure that I actually put some in some of the rooms with the door closed. There was one that I put in the bathroom. I put the wild peach poppies in the bathroom. I shut the door. I went back in there a while later. And so that's kind of how I was testing multiple ones at the same time. So I've got the lavender and chamomile. Okay. Because I want you guys to know that I made these and I tested them. I will never come on here and tell you I made a product and tested it and didn't do that, okay? So the wood sage and sea salt, wild peach poppies, honey and lavender, Namaste, white tea, and sage. Okay, so some of these I dyed, some of them I didn't. I wish I hadn't dyed any of them because that was just a waste. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, that's my Pro Blend 650, not mine, but that's the one I use. It has a nice flat shiny surface. It comes out of the clamshells really nice, pops out really nice. So this is the white sage. Has very little to no scent to it whatsoever. Now I do have one of those sweet cotton candies here, and if I compare, this is strong. This is so strong that just opening it up fills the immediate area with this scent. Okay, this is a nice one. That's a strong one. But then you've got this one here that hardly has any kind of scent to it whatsoever. So big difference between a high quality fragrance oil, at least what I consider a high quality fragrance oil, and this one here. So I started making these wax melts a couple nights ago, and any of you who are familiar with making candles and wax melts, you know that when you're making those products, whatever fragrance oil, especially if it's a pretty good fragrance oil, that fragrance oil fills up the room that you're making them in, right? You can smell it in the kitchen, in the, you know, whatever room you're using. And I noticed right away that when I was mixing it up, and I was using a lot, because like for example, this one here, Namaste, or no, wild peach poppies, this is all just on a batch of wax melts, because the first ones that I did, this one here, this was actually one of the first ones I tried. I used my regular 16% with my one batch of wax melts, and I noticed that it did not have a very good hot throw. So I made 3 the first night. Did not use just my regular amount, and then I went back the second night after not having success, and I used a whole bunch more. I doubled that shit, okay? I had probably like 25% fragrance oil in my wax melts the second night. I don't smell any of it anywhere, but I noticed that the room wasn't even filling up with the scent, and so that was a concern. Then as I'm pouring it and I'm, you know, kind of smelling it throughout the night, I'm trying different ones. I'm noticing that it's not just one like that, it's all of them. So there wasn't a whole lot of scent when I was making the wax melts just in the rooms like there usually are. So yeah, it's just very, very mild. It's very mild. So I made 3 the first night, like I said. Did not get a very good hot throw. Tested them the very next day. Did not smell anything at all in the room. The next night I make them again, and this time I add more fragrance oil, and the following day I test them again, and again I'm not getting any kind of hot throw. And so what I started doing was giving these away to people that I know, family, friends, children. Gave some to my oldest son and his girlfriend, and so I asked them to give me honest reviews because I really want to know what these smell like, because at this point I'm like, okay, is it just my sense of smell is messed up at this point, or is it just not a really, really strong one? And so I wanted people to actually give me an honest opinion, so I gave them to people that I knew would give me an honest opinion, that wouldn't be scared to give me an honest opinion. And they're in the process of testing them out. I haven't heard back yet, but as of right now, I do have the wild peach poppies going on in our master bathroom, and I actually put in 2 of these. Now, one of these in a regular fragrance oil usually is more than enough to give a whole room a nice smell to it. So I actually put 2 of these in our bathroom, and right now I go in there and there's no smell whatsoever. So really disappointed. There is a slight cold throw. There's a very, very mild cold throw to it, but the hot throw is just not there. Now the worst one is the wood sage and sea salt, the Joe Malone one. This is unbelievably nothing. This is nothing. This has no smell to it whatsoever. Nothing. Not even a mild cold throw. One of the ones that I just smelled, what was it? The Namaste, I think. This one has like a slight smell to it, but this one here, this wood sage and sea salt, has no smell to it whatsoever. Nothing. It is absolutely like, this is just a waste of wax. And so this is just sad. This is awful. There's no smell. This is just like a block of wax, guys. This is just wax. I might as well just remelt this and make something else in there and use it for myself or something. At least resalvage the wax. This is awful. I am so disappointed in this company. So, needless to say, I was really disappointed, and I bought these reviews, or I bought these fragrances based on the reviews on the company website. There's not one negative review on this website. However, after I made these, I went to bed that night and I'm so frustrated. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about the $154 that I wasted spending on these fragrance oils. It was my whole budget for the month. I literally had to, like rebudget some things and move things around just so I could get fragrance oil to replenish the tarot candles for this month. Because this really, making candles and wax melts is not very cheap. It's a very expensive business to do, even hobby. It's very expensive, right down to okay, the warning labels that you have to put on your clamshells, the clamshell molds themselves, the candle dye that you're putting in here, okay, the labels that you're making your label with, the ink that goes into this, okay, everything that you use, the wax, the fragrance oil, that is very, very expensive. You're using a lot of different things. You're putting, and even these here, even the little 1 ounce containers that I buy off of Amazon, these aren't cheap. I give these away in all orders. Everybody gets about 3 or 4 of these in each order, no matter what they order. Even if they order something that's non-candled, they get 3 or 4 of these in their order. These I buy on Amazon in a pack of 200 for, I think it's $9.99. They're just the 1 ounces, but I actually made 40 of these with all my new fragrances. So, and I have a picture I'm going to show you because I really did make 40. Okay, so the picture should be up there by now. I've got 40 of these little samples that there's no way I can give this away. There's no way I can give this away. That's sad because, like I just said, I wouldn't even give this away. It's so bad. There is no scent, and I could not with a good conscience give this to people or put this on my Etsy shop. So if you guys go to my Etsy shop, you will not see any of these fragrances on there. Like I said, I take pride in what I put up on the shop, and I don't feel right selling something that I know isn't good quality and isn't going to smell. I want people to get their product and open it up and say, wow, this isn't what I expected. This is way better. This smells great. And that's what I pride myself on. That's the type of response that I'm looking for, and that's what I want from my customers. I want you to be happy with the product that you receive and that you purchase, because these things, we know that these things on Etsy are not cheap. They're expensive, and they're expensive because, you know, there's the Etsy fees, there's the shipping. I offer free shipping on my shop. And so these things aren't cheap for the customer, and therefore I feel like I have to do my best as a shop owner and make sure that you're getting the quality that you're paying for. And I could not put this up in the shop and charge somebody $6.50 for something that smells like literally a block of wax. This is what you would be paying for, is a block of wax. This would be a really, really good and easy way to not make a new customer, not make a repeat customer. Okay, you want customers that like your product enough to come back and order more. And this would be a turnoff. I don't think that they would return because this has no smell to it whatsoever. So I could not rightfully add these scents or fragrances or wax melts to my shop at all. You're not going to find them there. I have a box that I keep all of my samples in. And you will see the picture. I had 40 of them that I made of these. Actually, it was a few more than 40 because I used some also in testing. I've got all of these little containers, even the little labels that I buy. I order these on Amazon. I label all of my samples so everybody knows what samples they got. I have to take these out, so this is a waste of everything. Waste of time, money, effort, energy. You know, it's ridiculous. So I went to bed that night, and I was really, really disheartened and upset. And I started Googling, which I should have done before I ordered $154 worth of fragrance oil from this company. But I started Googling this company, and I started looking on just different websites and reviews. And I did come across quite a few interesting reviews. And I'm going to put them up on the screen, and I'm going to read a few of them. I have quite a few that I took a screenshot and put them together and blocked everybody's name because I don't want to put somebody's name out there like that. But I did block everyone's name and then tried to put it together so that you guys could read along with me. But I did come across quite a few negative reviews on this company. And one of the things that I noticed that really bothered me was that it seemed to be a very, very consistent topic. The owner of this company, they said that many of these customer reviews said that the owner of this company was very rude, very difficult to work with, had a very nasty attitude, doesn't take constructive criticism very well, which I know constructive criticism and having negative reviews is probably horrible, but being on that side, you would think that you would try to do anything or everything for that customer to change that experience and make them have a better experience than what they had originally, maybe. It doesn't sound like she does that. She doesn't take those types of steps. And it seemed like I read this comment enough from several reviews to make me feel like there's some substance to it. So the owner of the company doesn't seem to be very nice. Another one, the biggest thing that I seen was negative reviews apparently seem to get deleted from their website. Now, I am going to go ahead and insert a video at this point, and well, I don't know if I'm going to insert a video at this point, but I wanted to test this out, and so I did go to their website and I did leave a review, and I recorded myself leaving the review, and I left it on the Namaste, and it is a 1-star review, and I gave my opinion on I was honest, I gave my blunt opinion on the fragrance oil, and I submitted it. And so once it gets cleared, they say it should take anywhere between 5 to 7 days to get cleared and be put up on the website. I encourage you guys to go to Just Sent in a week from now and check and see if my 1-star review is on their website, because that was one of the common comments that I seen from people, is that whenever somebody puts a negative review or a 1-star review on this website, it gets removed or it never makes it to the website to begin with. And that is very, very misleading to me, because I know that when you go to these candle companies and you look at their fragrance oils, you depend on both positive and negative reviews. Candle Science, Flaming Candle, they have both. You're going to find 1-star reviews, you're going to find 5-star reviews. That's just normal. And usually when I'm buying a fragrance oil from one of those companies that I haven't tried, I will literally click on a couple of the 1-stars and see what those comments are, and then I'll go back and I'll click on the 5 stars and see what those comments are, and then I'll make a decision based on what I want to do. But at least I know I've had both options, I've read both comments. And I have purchased fragrance oils with 1-star reviews. Some have been mistakes and others have been okay. I had no problem with them. But for a company to actually take reviews off of their website because they want to push this narrative that their fragrance oils are the best, I don't like that. That is really a big, huge turnoff for me. So there's that. So I actually did add, I did go to the Namaste and I went to the Wood Sage and Sea Salt, and I gave them both reviews. And so I again, if you're curious, go there, check and see. It's under my name, Nyoka. You can just see if my review is there. If it's not there within a week, then they did not submit my review. So I do want to read a couple of these reviews, and I'm going to put them up on the screen out of curiosity. I've got about 12 of them. I'm not going to upload 12 reviews here, but just to kind of give you an idea. So the first one here is, this company is all around atrocious. I ordered fragrance oils from them as my supplier did not have 2 that I needed. Never in my life have I gotten oils that smelled so bad. One was extremely weak and smelled as if though it was old and going bad. The other, super strong strawberry, had a nasty burnt chemical smell as soon as I opened the bottle. The smell was so bad I could not smell any strawberry in it whatsoever. I contacted the company about the smell and politely told them that in the 30 plus years I've been making candles, I have never gotten an oil that smelled this bad. I offered to send it back so they could check it and suggested that they check the batch it came from. Now, I didn't click on the more part, but this person goes on to talk about the negative response from the owner of the company. Okay, so that's the first one. Let's go to number 2. I haven't received any shipping information from an order I placed a week ago, so I called the company. She returned my phone call the same day. She sounded irritated and was explaining shipping times. I said I wasn't concerned with the time, but I hadn't received any tracking information. She, in a very irritated voice, said I was just getting to that. I said, can you please email me because I'm in a car and driving kids home from school. She hung up the phone. No goodbye, nothing, and I still don't have tracking information. No big deal. I'm not a very angry person. I can't tell what any of the products are like because I haven't received anything, but I will not be a returning customer. So now we're starting to get into the complaints of this owner. Okay, where's 3? All right. I will never order from Just Scents ever again. I spent over $200 on their scents. Yeah, I got carried away with all the reviews. I was sure that they would be strong, but every scent I practically have to stick my nose in the bottle to smell them. I'm so upset. I can't even use these fragrance oils for my candle business. There is no cold throw or hot throw. They are way too light and watered down. Threw my money away. I'm sticking with my other companies. They lost a potential great customer who would have been returning, but I won't. False advertisement. Their fragrance oils are the weakest fragrance oil I have ever smelled. I bought like 10 pounds of oil and every one of them has no fragrance throw. Save your money and go elsewhere. Let me do, where's 4? Okay. 4, I ordered 11 samples of fragrance oils and they only shipped 8 of them. However, they insisted that they sent out 11 and treated me as if I had lied. Customer care was also the worst. I would never order from them again. Okay, 5. Disappointed with this company. I ordered many scents and the cold throw was great, so I went ahead and ordered larger bottles. Only one fragrance I ordered has hot throw, and yes, I know what I'm doing. What bummed me out was that I left honest reviews, some 5 stars and some 1. They deleted the reviews they didn't like, which is completely misleading to customers. Don't buy the warm vanilla sugar. It has no hot throw at all. I have never had a fragrance work that poorly. The only one we got to smell was the black cherry Merlot. I wouldn't want to see something that didn't work. It's a bummer and causes customers to not trust you. So I'm going to stop there, but I have like 12 of these saved and I made 12 slides, but I don't want to make you guys go through every single one, but you get the idea. I wish I had come across these reviews before I spent $150 at this company, because I honestly cannot say enough negative about them, and I don't like to do that. I've never been in this situation. I've never been this so disappointed. And that woman there, when she said that they deleted her reviews or they did not put up her 1-star reviews, I did go back to the website. I went back to the website and I double checked on every single fragrance oil that I purchased, and there's not one single negative review. Now there's several of them that don't have any review. So you're either going to get a fragrance oil that has several 5-star great reviews or no reviews at all, but there is no 3 stars, there's no 2 stars, there's no 1 star. I'm looking at Namaste right now, and yeah, fantastic, awesome, amazing, awesome and unique, fresh, no chemical smell. I almost have I at this point am not convinced that these positive 5-star reviews are even genuine. Are these fake reviews? Because it doesn't say the name of the person, it just says customer USA and the date that it was submitted, and they're all on the same date. Now that I'm looking at them, they're all on the same date. So are you telling me that you have 5 separate customers that purchased this very same scent all on May 10th 2021? Why do you have May 10th 2021 on 1, 2, 3, 4? This is unbelievable. I just now noticed this. They have 4 reviews on the Namaste, and the customer doesn't have the customer's name. It just says customer USA, and the date submitted on all 4 of them is May 10th 2021, and they're all 5-star reviews. Fantastic, awesome and soap, awesome and unique, fresh, no chemical smell. Oh my god, I really feel like these are fake reviews. I personally love this scent. It has been quite popular for me this year. I call bullshit on that. It is very unique and quite nice. It's unique, all right. The performance in my Parasoy blend wax is exceptional. Yeah, right. I've been looking for new, hip, unique oils for my lineup. This oil is fantastic. I love the new line at Just Scents. Bring us more. I'll pass. Thanks. You don't need to bring me any more. Fresh, no chemical smelling. Well, that's ironic because one of the things that I came across was that many of their fragrance oils have a very harsh chemical smell to them. So, of course, they would have to counter that, right? This fragrance smells like me. Is just a fresh pine tree. Emphasis on fresh, of course. No chemical smell at all. It's just sweet. Even has snow notes in it. Absolutely no pine home cleaner here at all. Absolutely no pine cleaner here at all. This scent to me is a miracle since I've been on a pine tree hunt for years. Thank you so much, Just Scent. I call bullshit on all of these reviews. I think that their reviews are just full of it. I think that they put up their own reviews because I tell you what, I doubt it. Okay, so here's some homework if you want to do this out of curiosity. These reviews are under the Namaste, Just Scents website, Namaste. Right now there's 4 reviews. They're all 5-star. I literally just uploaded my own 1-star review earlier today. Today is Wednesday, May 12th. So in a week from now, if anybody remembers or if you're curious, I'm going to do it myself. Go back to the website, click under Namaste. If there's still only 4 5-star reviews on there, then we know that they don't put in all reviews that are negative. Okay, they don't put in all the reviews, and that is very, very misleading. So anyway, before I get really pissed off with this company, because this is unbelievable, let me just really quickly search wood sage and sea salt. All right, again, we have a 5-star review, of course, right? Okay, this one has 9 reviews. This is actually another one that, why are all the dates the same? Why are all, okay. So I just went to the wood sage and sea salt. All of the dates submitted for the reviews are April 10th, 2021. Why are all the dates the exact same on every single review? Now, if you go to Flaming Candle or if you go to Candle Science, you'll see things on there from 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 2 weeks ago, 6 months ago. They vary because people purchase things at various times. So you're going to have various times for these reviews, right? But all of these reviews on this company are submitted on 5/10/2021. So every single one. And listen to these titles. Absolutely amazing. Perfect dupe for Joe Malone. Amazing. Amazing dupe. Amazing. Fantastic. Amazing. Just wonderful. How many... I can't even right now. How many amazings are you going to put in here? At least if you're going to fake it, I mean, fake it, at least make it believable. I mean, Jesus, this is unbelievable. I smelled this scent in one of those magazine sample pages and fell in love with it. I finally found a duplication at Just Scent and ordered it. It's fabulous. Made a batch of CPOP soap and my house smells heavenly. I call bullshit on that too because I've made that very same scent and it doesn't smell anything heavenly. This is a unisex scent that everyone will love. It behaved nicely when added in a light trace. I would buy this again for sure. Oh God, this is a great oil. Great in my 50-50 blend and soaps like a dream. This is my favorite of the Joe Malone dupe sets. I can't get enough of it. Fills a room but doesn't slap you in the face. It's sophisticated and lovely. Yeah, sure it is. Wonderful fragrance. Has an excellent scent throw in my wax. I highly recommend it. This scent is sophisticated and a unique... Okay. When you start to see words that repeat themselves, like sophisticated, what is the likelihood that different customers are going to use the same verbiage? That right there is a red flag to me as well. So I don't know how many of these titles have amazing in the title as their title, and then how many of them have said sophisticated, because I call bullshit on this. This is bullshit. This is ridiculous. This company is crazy. I will never purchase anything from them again. I have, talking about a dupe scent, I have been duped. I have been duped purchasing fragrance oils from this company. If anybody has been duped, it's been me, okay? And any other customer that has wasted their money, time, and effort on any of these products that they've purchased from this company. I would love to have a refund so that I could go out and purchase my regular fragrance oils from companies, because I've got $150 worth of crap oil that's just going to sit on my shelf until I get ready to throw it out. This is just unbelievable. Wow. Huh. Unbelievable. Okay, so before I get any more pissed off, let me just go ahead and end this video now. It's already almost an hour long, and I didn't want to go that long. But moral of the story: if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Okay, that's all I can say, because I don't have a problem with any of the companies that I use. I love Lone Star, Flaming Candle, Candle Science. They are magnificent to work with as far as customer service. A couple of times I've had to reach out to the company, and I've always been dealt with appropriately, and Candle Science especially has went above and beyond. Anytime I have had an issue, and when I mean issue, I mean there was one time that I ordered like 4 dozen of these jars, and a couple of came broke. They ended up they didn't reimburse me, but they sent me another dozen. They didn't just replace the 2 that broke, they sent me the dozen, and they are very good about communication. So those are the companies that I will stick with from here on out. I've been working with them long enough to know that whatever I purchase from them is going to give me an amazing hot throw. It has an amazing cold throw, and I feel confident with any product that I put in my Etsy shop from any one of those companies. I am not going to go on the hunt for anything special or fancy from a different company just because I seen somebody that bought something for it, or whatever the case may be. It was a hard learned lesson, because it cost me $150 plus all of the supplies that I went over with you earlier: clamshells, candle dye, ink, samples. So really harsh lesson to learn, but from now on I will continue to do the fragrance oil reviews from those main companies. Now, I do want to ask you guys if anybody out there has ever tried the Nature's Garden. I have seen mixed reviews on those. Right now I'm scared. I'm not going to go and venture out and purchase any wax melts from anybody or any fragrance oils from anybody else right now. But I am curious to know Nature's Garden. Another one that I have been wanting to try but I can't afford it is Brambleberry. I have ordered jars from Brambleberry before, but I have not been able to purchase the fragrance oil because it's like double of Candle Science and Flaming Candle. I just can't afford that. So from now on, I'm going to be sticking with my main companies, and I just wanted to get this out there because I just feel like if you are not allowed to put your honest opinion on their website, you have to get this information out there somehow. And I don't want people to waste their money. I don't want somebody else to go and get duped and spend $200 on fragrance oils and get something that is a notch above water, because that's what this is. So if I can prevent somebody else from wasting their money and their time, I want to do that. So until next time, guys, have a wonderful week, and I will see you probably next month, and hopefully I will have an update on the mica powder. So I'm looking forward to that, and also the chakra wax melts. So, all right. Thank you, and have a great day.